This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
That's number one. You kind of reset your
painful, tender to the touch. May also
same shoulder length, and the other.
Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast with Brandy and Amir. I am Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor. Brandy Rashidian is my other half, and the face and talent that you come to see and love. And today's episode, we've got some really cool information, high-tech stuff, kind of like what we talked about last time. But before I tell you that, I need to say that the Real Health Podcast is brought to you by the Frederick Podcast Network, and it is found on listenfrederick.com, along with YouTube and Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere else. Our purpose for doing this is so that you can be well informed on what's coming in mainstream media, the latest health and wellness news, research, articles, discoveries. And our goal is that the information we share with you helps you feel better, get stronger, live longer, and feel younger.
Yep.
Like us.
Feeling younger?
Aside from this cough, I feel pretty young.
Huh? Got a tickle?
Yeah. So anyways, maybe a little tea will help.
Give it a shot. We have we're going to be continuing on with last episode. We talked a lot about AI driven medical care,
Yep.
and kind of where that's headed. And I'm finding a lot of data regarding AI and different kinds of new technologies that are being used. So I'm excited to kind of dive into this. Some of it, you got to be willing to ask some questions, especially on a couple of the articles we're going to be talking about today. I don't know that we want to know some of that.
The answers?
Mm-hmm. I think we're not going to ask those questions. I'm saying as a general, the general population may not want to know the answers to some of these questions, so they're just not going to ask them. I'm going to ask them. I actually did some digging.
Good.
Not too happy about some of the answers, but I would rather know than not know.
Well, you dig very well.
Thank you.
One of your
I'm not
gifts.
sure how to take that.
Digger. Like remember Dig Dug, the video game?
Yes.
All right. Who came up with that name? Dig Dug.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the writers.
Dig Dug.
All right, moving on.
Reuters reported on this. It says Health Rounds 3D printed insulin producing cells show promise for type 1 diabetes in lab tests. Now these are short articles, and they actually talked about something else in this same article, which we may talk about in a second. But July, insulin-producing human pancreas cells can be manufactured with 3D printers, researchers reported at the International Transplant Congress, underway in London, using a bioink. Wow, Wimbledon's going on in London as well. Then London's busy.
Yes, it is.
Using a bioink made from human pancreatic tissue, from which all cellular components had been removed, and alginate, which is a substance derived from seaweed. Why can't they just say algae? They printed human pancreatic islet cells. I mean, I had to read this a couple times because it says they took human pancreatic tissue and removed all cellular components. What's left when you remove cellular components? Fluid? I mean, anyways, and then they combined it with algae or alginate from seaweed, and that was the substance, that was the quote-unquote ink that they used to 3D print pancreatic cells. The printed cells remained alive and functional in test tubes for up to 3 weeks, maintaining strong insulin responses to glucose and showing real potential for future clinical use, the researchers said. So, I mean, like you said, I've got a bunch of questions here too. What happens after 3 weeks? Like, do these things only live 3 weeks, or did you let them die and you could have kept them alive longer? I mean, because people don't want to be cured just for 3 weeks from diabetes, and
Right.
or they don't want to have to reprint a pancreas every 3 weeks. I don't know. The printed cells were more efficient than standard islet cell preparations at releasing insulin when exposed to glucose.
Yeah, they remove all the living cell, the muscle cells. They remove the DNA in the nuclear material to minimize immune rejection. But if they're taking the cells from that person, there shouldn't be a rejection issue, correct?
No, I don't think they take it from that person. They
Oh.
just, I think they take it from a healthy person.
Mm.
I mean, again, it doesn't say. Nancy Lappet is the author. We need to call her up and say, we need some details on this one. Traditional islet cell transplants done in patients with type 1 diabetes who experience dangerous and unpredictable low blood sugar episodes, islet cells from human donors are infused into the liver. The 3D printed islets would be implanted under the skin using local anesthesia and a small incision, which could be safer and more comfortable option for patients, the researchers said. So right now they're putting those cells in the person's liver,
Right.
but the 3D printed ones you can put under the skin. The team is now testing the bioprinted cells in animals and exploring long-term storage options that could make the therapy widely available.
Yeah, there are some cells that they do take from the patient. So there are different circumstances from some of the information I've pulled up that cells are harvested from the same patient who will receive the implant. There's zero risk of immune rejection at that point. So it sounds like there are times when they do that. It doesn't say why they would choose one over the other, but very interesting.
We're getting closer to creating an off-the-shelf treatment for diabetes that could one day eliminate the need for insulin injections. That would be nice if we don't need to inject anymore.
Right.
I mean, I don't need to, but I'm talking about type 1 diabetics.
Yeah.
But type 1 diabetes is a very small population. Do you have access to that? How many
Yes.
Americans are type 1 diabetics?
About 1.5 to 1.6 million Americans are currently live with type 1 diabetes, according to recent data.
So there's like, what, 350 million people? 1.5 million, you said?
1.5 to 1.6 million Americans.
Okay. So, like 3 million would be less than 1% still. So we're looking at 0.5%.
With 64,000 new diagnoses occurring each year.
So how come the number doesn't grow? Does that mean like that many people die from it every year?
I don't know.
That's interesting. Anyways, so the same article talked about gene editing, and this is not about diabetes, but I thought this was interesting, and a couple of fun facts in here. It says gene editing breakthrough in cells energy factories. So we reported on CRISPR a while back, which is a way of gene editing to treat, at the time it was sickle cell anemia that they were
Right.
able to cure with gene editing. But now they're working on other things. This is not CRISPR. This is a different type of gene editing. It says incurable disorders of mitochondria, the energy producing factories inside of cells, may one day be addressed by gene therapies, lab experiments suggest. Mitochondria, specialized structures within cells, these are little, they call them organelles. So organelles are, it's like, you know, the human body has organs. Every cell has organs too. Those organs are called organelles.
Oh, that's
Little
interesting.
organs. So mitochondria is in a lot of cells in the body have mitochondria which produce energy for that cell. And so that's what they're talking about. It says they have their own DNA separate from DNA in the cell's nucleus. So the nucleus is also an organelle which holds the DNA, but mitochondria has their own DNA. In fact, what I remember from biology and biochemistry in school is that the DNA of mitochondria is circular, which
Interesting.
is it's a round. It's not the double helix. It's a different kind of DNA. It's round, circular, and it's the same as bacteria, or viruses. Viral DNA is circular, I think. So the theory, the evolution theory, was that somehow a bacteria got swallowed by a cell, and then it became an organelle in that cell. That's why it has its own DNA, and started producing energy. Anyways, sounds a little weird.
Interesting.
But here's the other nice, fun part to know is that where does your mitochondrial DNA come from? Do you know?
No.
Your mother.
Oh, I was going to say that as
Yeah.
a guess.
Yeah, because so the sperm doesn't have any mitochondria.
Of course not.
It just has regular DNA. The egg has mitochondria, and that's the mitochondria that children get.
Interesting.
So you're always more genetically related to your mother than your father.
So you better love your mama.
You have your mama's mitochondrial DNA. So anyways, mutations in mitochondrial DNA can cause a variety of debilitating conditions affecting multiple organs, particularly those that require high energy, such as the brain, liver, heart, muscles, and kidneys. Gosh, those are important.
They are.
Those are important organs. Using a new kind of gene editing tool, we were able to fix I don't like that word, fix DNA mistakes that cause mitochondrial disease, said study leader Dr. Martien Coppens from the University Medical Center Utrecht in the Netherlands.
Interesting. You know, I wanted to know like what other types of things besides those kinds of cells that were being 3D printed, because I find this very fascinating.
Yeah.
And it said that some other things that are being edited or being 3D printed are skin grafts and tissue patches. Okay. For burn victims, chronic wounds, no problem. Cartilage, ears, nasal cartilage, knee meniscus tissues. They've even 3D biotherapeutics actually printed a human ear implant using the patient's cells.
It's very cool.
That's very cool. Advantage, personal shape, no rejection, all of that. Bone scaffolds. So for repairing major bone defects, can be loaded with stem cells or growth factors to speed regeneration. It's very, very interesting. Osteofab, the FDA cleared 3D printed bone implants. That's interesting.
Wow.
Heart tissue and mini organs. Cardiac patches to repair damaged myocardium. Organoids, tiny simplified versions of livers, kidney, and intestines for drug testing. Blood vessels and vascular networks. A big barrier of tissue engineering is building capillaries to nourish the tissues. Corneal tissue, pancreatic, insulet, which we just talked about, cell clusters, and nerve regeneration conduits.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Well, the gene editing system for the mitochondria says it uses inactive version of bacterial toxins as its molecular scissors. I mean, are we playing with like things we shouldn't be playing with? I don't know.
I think we might be.
It says to deliver the scissors to the mitochondria, the tool uses mRNA encapsulated in tiny lipid particles, a transport method also used to deliver COVID-19 vaccines.
I'm out. Sorry.
Coppens' team successfully used their tool to introduce a mutation into a gene in liver cell mitochondria, thereby disrupting energy production in the cells. They were also able to correct a mutation in mitochondria from a patient with a genetic kidney disorder.
Yeah, I don't want anybody snipping on my DNA.
Well, this is mitochondrial DNA. It's different, but
I don't care. I don't want you snipping anything. No thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. If it's a serious debilitating condition and it's going to get fixed, but even though if it's going to cause other problems, I don't know.
You just don't know. That's the
Right.
challenge.
So we have this one from New York Post. It says, powerful pill can reveal what's going on in your gut thanks to miniature sensors. Your digestive system impacts your skin, immune system, energy levels, and even your mood. Studies have even found links between the gut and Parkinson's, colon cancer, and other conditions, with doctors routinely recommending people get more fiber in their diets.
They do need to do that for sure.
Isn't that funny that they can say that, but we can't say that?
Yes.
So, by the way, fiber is not FDA approved. Keep that one in mind. Fiber in your diet is not an FDA approved substance. Advil is. So it might be no surprise that the geniuses over at Caltech have invented a tiny pill called Piltrek that's lined with electrochemical sensors that measure pH, temperature, metabolites, ions, even serotonin and dopamine right in your gut. The pill is itty bitty, measuring 7 millimeters in diameter and 25 millimeters in length. But it packs a powerful punch. It has the ability to measure metabolites, ions, hormones such as serotonin and dopamine, possibly even proteins as well. Current gut tests rely on messy stool samples or pricey invasive biopsies. Ingestible capsules have significant potential in diagnosis, monitoring, and management of chronic conditions, but previous devices were very limited in terms of their sensing capabilities, lifetime, and size.
So you know that I'm thinking about a movie, right? What's
The one with Martin Short?
Yeah.
It's called Inner Space.
Yeah. Everybody needs to go watch that. That's what this reminds me of because I think we're right around the corner from
So
this.
they shrank Dennis Quaid and accidentally injected him into Martin Short.
Yes.
And then Dennis Quaid in his little spaceship went up to the ear and stuck a probe in the vestibular or the cochlear nerve in the brain, and then he could talk to Martin Short, and he goes, "I'm inside of you." So he goes to the doctor and says he's hearing voices. He says he's inside of me. Anyways, it is a very funny movie.
It's a very funny movie, and that's probably the next stop, right? That's the next step is now we have the tiny little pole. Yeah,
They're
tiny
gonna
little
shrink the
pill.
doctor and put him in the human. Go look around.
Well, I mean,
You know that was a
what
remake
if it's AI that's inside of you?
There's a movie called Fantastic Journey. I think that's the name of the movie, which is the original. A whole spaceship was
Shrunken
or
down.
submarine was shrunk into microscopic size with a team. So
Yes.
there's a group of people in there. It was made in the 1960s.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And so this was like a remake of that, but that one's not a comedy. That one's
No.
like an action adventure movie.
Yeah, that's like Journey to the Center of the Earth, but
Right.
into a body. Yeah.
The journey into the center of you.
Yes, for sure.
Anyways, we got time for one more.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got through those too fast.
Well, this one is from Fox News, and it's predictions. It says 22 healthcare predictions for 2025 from medical researchers. So it's an old article because we're more than halfway through 2025, but this came out on December 31st of 2024. But I still thought it was interesting. I am going to fly through this because most of it is worthless. It says expectations for cancer, neurology, cardiology, more from experts at Mass General. So they basically took different doctors at Mass General and asked them, what's your prediction?
Right.
And so this one doctor said immunotherapy for cancer and other conditions like autoimmune diseases. So we're going to do more immunotherapy. Another doctor regarding cancer said, I predict novel discoveries and innovative strategies for early cancer detection and prevention. With the proven success of immunotherapy for cancer treatment, there is an emerging interest in utilizing the patient's own immune system for cancer prevention, especially in high-risk populations. So now we know for sure that the immune system can kill cancer cells.
Yep.
We've known that. We've been talking about
Does
that
it every day.
for, I don't know, for 30 years. I mean, ever since I went to school, we knew. Everybody who goes to any kind of school regarding healthcare knows the immune system finds and destroys cancer cells in the body. And so all you do is make sure your immune system is top notch, and there's a good chance you'll never get cancer. Now, we also learned that iodine deficiency causes things like breast cancer. So nutritional deficiencies, internal environment of the body. But it's funny that it's okay for them to say, because remember, we were not allowed to say, boost your immune system. They're like, you're chiropractors, you should only treat back pain. I go, but I can't treat back pain without reducing inflammation in the body.
Right.
So why can't I talk about the immune system? Because
But
that's
again, it's-
what monitors all the inflammatory processes.
But we talked on the last episode about how in medicine everybody is so specialized, right? Nobody wants somebody who looks at the entire body and how it works together.
That's right.
That because God forbid we actually start figuring some of this stuff out, which we know all too often it's lifestyle, right? It's what we're eating, what we're not eating. It's the toxins. It's what we're putting onto our body. It's the stress in our life we can't manage properly. It's all of these things are contributing.
Oh yeah, and they talk about that a little bit in here.
Okay. What else do they say?
So this is, the third prediction is the current standard for treating patients with clinical stage 2 or 3 triple negative breast cancer is to administer chemotherapy in addition to immunotherapy prior to surgery. This combination therapy leads to a better response than chemotherapy alone. However, this made me laugh. Immunotherapy comes with added toxicities that can lead to lifelong complications. I go, and chemo doesn't? Thank you. They're probably saying the same thing. I heard you all say it. Like, chemo doesn't?
Well, why aren't we talking about melatonin?
Yeah.
With the chemo,
Yeah.
because we know that
20
improves outcome and there's no toxicity level.
20 milligram injections is what they were giving cancer patients.
It's not even very high.
20 milligram but an injection of melatonin is equivalent to 5 times that taken orally.
Okay.
So it's like 200 milligrams taken orally.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But it reduced, not only did it make chemo more effective, it stopped tumor growth,
Right.
and it reduced the symptoms, side effects of chemotherapy.
Right.
Son of a gun. Go back and watch episode 97 and 98. Anyways, so that one made me laugh. Great prediction that we're going to now use chemo and immunotherapy in conjunction, but immunotherapy is toxic. Chemo is
Super
not.
cautious.
Anyways, the fourth prediction on the cancer, it says breakthroughs in spatial transcriptomics and subcellular high-resolution imaging, particularly in the context of embryo development and understanding of cancer progression and resistance. That's a little scary because they're looking at embryo development to discover something about cancer. I think, I mean, anytime you call an embryo a tumor, you kind of cringe a little bit. Then number 5, I believe we will see a greater focus on the long-term impact of multiple environmental factors. Finally, they're talking about environmental factors on disease states such as cancer development processes. There is a misconception that many non-hereditary diseases such as non-hereditary cancer are the result of short-term risk factor exposure. I think the research in the coming year will shift focus on long-term impacts of multiple disease-causing factors. I can't believe they're saying this is a prediction for the future. When, and they're let me put it in my words. Headline news. You'll never believe this. Short-term toxic environments aren't the main cause of cancer. It's long-term toxicity that can cause cancer. So like
What?
So if you just walk into a toxic environment for a day and come out,
Oh, that's not
you may not get cancer.
what?
Amazing, right? But if you go stay there for like a decade, you're probably going to get cancer.
Oh, so what you're saying is my body is equipped to handle a certain threshold
Yeah.
of toxins and stress and things like that that can suppress my immune system,
Yes.
or maybe, I don't know, too many processes for the liver to handle, so it can't do phase 2 of detoxification, right? Like all of those things, kidney and liver. So you mean my body can handle some,
So,
but
but if you stay in that toxic environment long term, shocking, isn't it? Like,
wow, how much money was spent on that study? That's
no,
what
it's
I
just
want to
a
know.
prediction.
Oh, it's a prediction.
It's not even a fact yet. Like, we don't even know if it's true. We're saying that in 2025, they said this in 2024. In 2025, we're going to discover this. We haven't discovered it yet.
Well, we could have
Oh, just wait.
told them that.
Yeah, what do chiropractors know? We're not even real doctors.
Just a weekend seminar, eh?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, keep going. What other wonderful...
They have neurology predictions.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
It says expanded use of robotics and AI in complex surgeries, particularly for brain and spine procedures.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna one of the predictions says they're gonna discover ways to temporarily open the blood-brain barrier, so they can send stuff into the brain.
No, thank you.
That's a protective mechanism. Like you have to trust that the way the body was created, the things that are called barriers are there for a reason. Mm-hmm. We don't open them.
No, not temporarily or full time.
And how do you know it's temporary? What if you open it and it stays open? And like whatever goes in your blood goes to your brain. This is dangerous stuff, but that's a prediction. So somebody's working on the research for that, I guess.
Yay.
And then it says starting in 2025, it'll become possible to administer transcranial magnetic stimulation to treat depression over the course of just days instead of weeks. So, but they can take a hallucinogen, the mushroom, and be cured in even less time.
Yeah.
But that's not going to get...
And enjoy the process, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Go on a little trip without leaving your home.
You don't even need to pack a bag, but you might.
That's why they call it a trip.
That's right.
I just figured that out.
I got it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. I think there's just a couple more, but these are ridiculous predictions.
Yeah,
It
for
says
sure.
integration of artificial intelligence facilitated algorithms for the early detection of cardiovascular illness, which will move us closer toward early prevention. So I look at this and I go, how is early detection going to cause prevention?
Well, remember,
Because you read it sounds really nice and intelligent.
well, I know, but they don't really have they don't differentiate between early detection and prevention. For them, it's the same thing.
I think that's a problem.
I think it's interchangeable, where we have a very different definition of that.
Yeah. So we're going to find better ways to detect cardiovascular disease earlier. What that means is we're going to get more people on more drugs and more procedures earlier and earlier and earlier,
Yes.
which means we're going to make a lot of money selling these drugs and
100%.
procedures, and we're going to call it prevention.
Yes.
But we know how to prevent heart disease. Don't smoke, don't drink.
Exercise.
Go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Eat vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep a lot. Have good relationships. All right. This one says, general scientific predictions. We will uncover why some people gain weight. That's a prediction. We're finally going to figure it out. 2025 is the year we figure out why people gain weight. I mean,
They should have
because
called
we
us.
don't know.
They should have called us 5 years ago. We could have told them.
I think our 8-year-old could tell them why people gain weight.
For sure.
Okay, I skipped some words in the middle there. You know, they're talking about nutrient metabolism and things like that. But it's just, it was so much funnier to say it that way. And then this one's neat. They're going to use drones
Well, they're using
in
those.
healthcare. No, not in war.
Oh, okay. I'm like using those now.
Not espionage, not war. We're talking, so it says drone facilitated care will impact primary care. Are you getting what they're going to do? Okay. urgent and emergency care, and even enable public health leaps by bringing care directly to patients in ways we never thought possible.
So what, are they going to have like a telehealth like appointment?
I'm envisioning one of those bots flies to your house, brings a syringe and injects you and leaves.
Okay, my first thought was the drone bringing the doctor and dropping them like it does the Amazon packages.
No, the doctor has a car. They can drive.
It's not as fast. So, but I do believe probably what they'll do is they'll deliver, it'll drop off medication. It will, do you know what I mean? Because
what was that movie? Was it Rocketeer? He had a rocket pack.
Oh, I don't know.
That's like the earliest drone right there. Except it's not electric.
Drone-ish, yes.
Rocket fuel powered. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are... We went through 3 articles in that episode.
I don't think we've gotten through 3 on our shorter format, so that's very impressive.
It is very impressive, and we got some good laughs, so hopefully you all enjoyed it. And
we went over them.
We went over?
Our time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, rewind and then push stop.
Don't worry about the last one we just did.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back with you in a few days for a little more, and don't forget, we've got a guest coming on who I think you'll all enjoy very much. So Take care. God bless.
We'll see you next time.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.